Despite what the media portrays, you do not need to be wealthy to set up a trust for your loved ones in the event of your death. In fact, anyone can set aside funds for after their death. You may be wondering what the difference is between a traditional will and a trust, so first, let's give a quick clarification. A will designates how your assets are distributed in the event of your passing. A trust allows you to have more control over distributing your assets only when certain conditions are met. For example, the beneficiary hitting a specific age, buying a house, or getting married. Let's look at the 6 steps to establishing a living trust. Step 1. Decide how you want to set up the trust. Living trusts can be set up in one of 3 ways: using an online service, by physically filling out the required legal documents, or by hiring an estate planning attorney. Keep in mind that setting up trusts on your own can be tricky, as there's quite a bit of room for error. We suggest hiring an estate attorney to help you with the process, especially if you want to set up an irrevocable trust. Step 2. Create a trust document. Your trust document is the basic foundation for your trust fund, where the following information is provided. Who the guarantor is. This is the person opening the trust. You. What property and assets will be held by the trust. Who the trust beneficiaries are. Who the trustee is. And the successor trustee. This is the person who will take over the trust if the trustee is unable or unwilling to fulfill his or her duties as the trustee. A shorter document, called the Certificate of Trust, must also be created to prove the existence of a trust. Step 3. Have the trust document signed and notarized. Not all states require a trust document to be notarized, but we suggest you have it done anyway. Notarization validates the trust after the grantor's death, but it also prevents fraud. In addition to notarization, some states may require witnesses to watch the grantor sign the trust, like a last will and testament. Step 4. Set up a bank account for your trust. You can either open a brand new account for your trust, or you can register a current bank account in the name of the trust. There isn't one way that's better, so in the end, it's whatever you feel most comfortable with. Step 5. Transfer assets into the fund. Now that you've set up a bank account for your trust, it's time to start transferring money and assets into that account. While the grantor's assets are specified in the trust agreement, this isn't enough. All assets must be moved into your trust account. What that looks like will vary depending on the nature of your assets. If you own the item, such as the house or a car, for example, you should transfer ownership of the title or registration to the trust. Step 6. Name the trust as beneficiary for some assets. There are certain assets that can't be transferred over the same way as the ones listed in the previous step. A life insurance policy, or 401k for example, are payable only upon death. What this means is that the beneficiary can be named to automatically receive the funds out of probate. You can also name the trust as a beneficiary so that the assets are transferred directly into the trust at the time of your passing. These are just some general steps to get you started in establishing a trust. There will always be unique considerations to every situation, which is why we always suggest getting in touch with an experienced estate lawyer before getting started. At Kalicki Collier, we can help you navigate the state requirements and other nuances that come along with setting up a trust. Call us today.